So here I was turning 40. Big party, lots of friends, lots of cake, lots of singing, and inside I was anything but happy. I had made myself all these promises when I turned 30 about how I was going to fix my marriage, how I was going to get into shape, how I was going to change bad habits, and none of it had happened. I was completely depressed, frustrated, and felt alone. I felt like my friends didn't want to hear any more about any of the new things I was going to try because I never stuck to any of them. I went back to my favorite place, the self-help aisle of the bookstore, and as I looked at all the books, I just felt like I was back to square one. How do I fix my marriage? How do I get into shape? How do I get my money habits under control? How do I raise my kids? How do I deal with my family? Blah, blah, blah. All I felt like I was doing was trying something new every week and running around in circles. Every book gave me a different to-do list of how I was going to change myself. I felt like I was drowning without a life preserver. I was being held together with Band-Aids and to-do lists. I've been a Christian my entire life, and it's not like I didn't have God in the problem. I prayed about these problems constantly. I wanted the abundant life that He promised. I wanted to feel peace. I wanted to feel joy. But I just couldn't figure out where was God in all of this. I felt like I was letting Him down, letting myself down, and letting everybody around me down. I knew all the verses. I knew Matthew 7 said, "Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened." I knew that John 14:6-7 said that He sent the Holy Spirit. He was going to comfort me and He was going to guide me. It's not like I wasn't trying, and it's not like I wasn't listening. I just didn't understand what it meant in a practical way to walk with the Spirit. Then I got to thinking, what have I got to lose? I don't want to end up in the next 10 years right back where I am right now. What can I do different? There's that old saying, if you keep doing the same thing you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got. So what have I got to lose? I must be looking in the wrong place. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "I know the plans I have for you. They're plans for good and not for evil." But then it goes on in verse 13 to say, "If you seek me with all your heart, you will find me." I read this study by Yale University saying that if you spend 12 minutes a day in prayer, it will actually rewire your brain. It's not like I'd never prayed before, but this time, instead of praying that God would help me change my habits or that God would change my problems, I was just seeking to know Him. I was spending time in His Word, getting to see how He'd interacted with other people and to figure out who He was. In my prayers, all I did was a very simple, "Father, I want to seek you with all my heart. Let me submit to the work that you're doing in my life. Help me." And a funny thing began to happen. It was like suddenly somebody flicked on a light switch. Instead of changing my problems, He started changing the way I saw myself in relation to my problems. Instead of changing my husband, He began to work on me. He began to say, "What can you learn from this? Are you really looking out for other people's interests, or are you just trying to meet the needs that you think you have? What if you trusted me with your real needs? What if we looked at everything in light of eternity? What if you trusted me to finish the work that I started in your life, to shape you into the image of my Son? Let's take this one decision at a time." I began to see myself and others in light of eternity. It was a very slow, very subtle peace and joy that began to come over my life as I trusted Him to make those changes. This is Hope Warda with Art with Hope. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe.